It's 2001. The world is watching 9/11 unfold.
September 11th, 2001 terror strikes set the tone for warfare in the 21st century. But the 21st century has also seen the rise of another kind of warfare. Warfare that lets nations and loners do battle without guns or bombs. These days, the biggest threat we face may be a rogue actor with a laptop and a desire to wreak havoc.
Cyber warfare is probably the greatest challenge that we have as far as our nation's national security is concerned. We have an advantage over every other form of competition with possible allies, except one, and that's cyber warfare. And when you see the potential of what a successful cyber attack can achieve, it's enough to make you deeply concerned.
This is going to be the new battlefield, an unseen, invisible battlefield where teams of hackers from various nations will do.
I want you to imagine something. In the early hours of a massive surprise invasion of Taiwan, China unleashes its full arsenal. Ballistic missiles rain down on key military installations, neutralizing air bases and command centers before Taiwan can fire a single shot. The People's Liberation Army Navy moves in with overwhelming force, deploying amphibious assault ships and aircraft carriers, while cyber attacks cripple Taiwan's infrastructure and prevent emergency response. The Chinese rocket force's long-range missiles shred through our defenses. Ships, command and control nodes.
The scenes or landscape in the battlefields are dramatically changing. If you look at the news from Ukraine or in the Middle East, I mean, you hear very often about UAVs or armed drones. It has basically become a weapon of choice. The most common ones are UAVs, uncrewed aerial vehicles. And they come in different shapes, sizes, and forms. The small ones, very simple ones that you can basically pick up from your local toy shop, to very sophisticated UAVs that are developed and produced for military purposes. And that is a dramatic sort of changes in the way in which the war and conflicts are fought.
The nature of warfare for the major powers who have been investing in weapon systems has been increasingly remote, right? Greater distance from the battlefield, but still with human control over the identification, the selection, and the firing on targets. If those functions are no longer ones that are undertaken by humans, but are undertaken by machines, it raises a whole host of questions, not least are the current laws of war fit for purpose, because they were written for humans and not for machines.
The development of technologies like autonomous weapon systems will make it very easy for people to go to war. These systems, once activated, have the ability to go and search, select, target an individual. These systems can be able to make decisions about who lives or die without any further human intervention or control. You can end up not being able, number one, to tell who deployed these systems to begin with. Even if you knew where they were coming from, we may end up with a crime. We may end up with a wrongful act that has been done, but with no soul to blame. Where you can say, who did this to me? And someone will say, actually, no one did. It was the machine.
The internet is still young, and deep in a government think tank, a paper is written, quietly warning of something radical. Artificial intelligence will one day direct weapons without human input. People scoffed, but today, autonomous drones, killer robots, and AI-controlled defenses are no longer science fiction. They're locked, loaded, and learning. In 2001, the U.S. Defense Science Board released a report titled Unmanned Systems Roadmap. Buried within it were predictions that seemed far-fetched. AI-driven decision-making in weapon systems within 2 decades. UAVs that wouldn't just fly, they'd think. Ground robots that wouldn't just follow, they'd choose. At the time, it was theoretical. Today, it's reality. AI in 2001 was primitive. Machine learning was academic. Speech recognition had an error rate of over 30%. But DARPA was already funding projects like intelligent battlefield agents. They envisioned robot scouts, autonomous supply chains, and combat simulations. Most people were focused on traditional warfare, but the Pentagon was preparing for something invisible. Between 2003 and 2009, DARPA tested robotic mules, autonomous vehicles, and AI surveillance systems. The grand challenge paved the way for self-driving war machines. They failed at first, dramatically, but each failure trained better algorithms. By 2010, battlefield logistics and intel gathering were increasingly autonomous. The MQ-9 Reaper, America's most famous drone, was introduced with human oversight. But behind the scenes, targeting algorithms were evolving. By 2012, software could predict movement patterns. AI didn't just see the enemy, it began to anticipate. By 2016, it could flag targets with 92% certainty. Some missions required nothing but a yes from a tired human at a terminal. In 2020, a UN report revealed a chilling moment. A Cargo 2 drone in Libya autonomously attacked a human target. No human authorization, no operator, just onboard AI. That moment crossed the line predicted in 2001. The AI weapon had fired on its own. As of 2025, AI is integrated into target recognition, real-time threat analysis, automated defense systems, loitering munitions, robot patrol units. Nations like China, Russia, the US, and Israel are all racing to outdevelop each other. But there's no Geneva Convention for software, no red line for code. Who is responsible when an AI kills? The programmer? The military commander? The state? This question haunts policymakers. AI has no morality. It cannot understand context. Its decisions are based on math, not mercy. In war, that changes everything. Modern neural networks operate as black boxes. They make decisions no human can fully trace. This makes accountability impossible. Imagine a robot fires a missile. It makes the wrong call. Who do we blame when the reasoning can't even be explained? The next-gen AI weapons are already in development. Hypersonic missiles with adaptive targeting. Swarm drones that share intelligence in real time. AI submarines that make independent navigation and strike decisions. These are not tools, they are actors. They will decide the fate of humans, with or without us. In 2001, it was a prediction. Today, it's a problem. And tomorrow, it might be irreversible. If this story made thee think, like and subscribe for more deep dives into war, AI, and the future. Comment below. Should we draw a line before it's too late? Or have we already crossed it? AI has no morality. It cannot understand context. Its decisions are based on math, not mercy. In war, that changes everything.